Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your metal market update, and this is from Monday, the 2nd of March, 2026. I'm still out of Chicago, so I don't appear in these right now, but I'm trying to get them done as best as I can. I will miss some updates because as we do things, we're out west. It's gorgeous here, and I can't always count on doing this. I need a few days to myself, and I'm enjoying those days, and I'm feeling quite refreshed. In terms of markets, you're going to get the Redbook retail sales in the morning, and they'll come out at 755. They've been running very strong, between 5.5%, 6%, and just over that increases. API numbers will come out in the afternoon. Now, I have been pointing out each day in the morning update when I put it out that sooner rather than later, you're going to hear the president get upset with the price, what gasoline is doing, what's going on with the price of oil. So Secretary of State Rubio this afternoon said both U.S. Secretary of Energy and the Treasury Secretary tomorrow are going to announce plans to mitigate rising energy prices. I think the only way to do it, there's a couple of ways. Obviously, the simplest is release more energy from the strategic reserve. Now, that doesn't mean that the refineries will all of a sudden be able to pick up and drop prices, but it's a beginning. Taxes are another thing you can eliminate if you wanted to, but that would hurt the income that we have. Iran news outlets are already saying that they have now got a ship, the Athens Nova, on fire, and that any ship that goes through the Strait of Hormuz is fair game to be put on fire by them. So they're doing their best, Iran, to shut the strait, to create global problems. And what has to happen here is Europe's got to come to play. Europe's got to come to the straits. They've got to start firing their missiles, everything they've got to shut down the Revolutionary Guard. They get a lot of energy out of this. It shouldn't all the burden be on the United States. There's a point where you're neutral, and there's a point where you're not neutral. This is the time that they should get in there and join us so that we can all stop what this craziness is out of Iran. Now, one of the big statements that I made yesterday was I said, be very careful. If you start reaching to buy the rallies, like in the metals, or you start selling things on the break like the stock market, you can get burned very quickly as everything's bound to turn because there's total uncertainty as to what is going on in the markets. Natural gas tried the upside, very feeble rally, nothing that I'm super impressed with. And yet, they're losing a lot of the energy coming out of the world's really the largest natural gas area for liquid natural gas there in Qatar and so on. And this is very important. And when you look at the other part, we are near $80 a barrel now in the May Brent, and we're over 71 a barrel in the U.S. And look at gasoline prices. Remember, this was a market that just recently was in the 190 area. Now you're pushing the 240s. So this all comes to play. In the metal markets, gold responded as gold should have. It took off. The dollar rallied sharply and broke the euro. As you could see, it's cracked the 117 zone as we look at the market. Bonds and notes broke hard. And now the market, in my opinion, is back to a neutral stance, waiting to see the next play. When we look at the gold market, if it finished like this, it would be up for the week. And remember, tomorrow's only Tuesday straight, nearly 2.4%. So the gain was very substantial so far on a weekly basis. When you look at the chart action, we're nowhere near the highs. We're still a ways from it. Doesn't mean it can't come, but it would take something very large by Iran in order to make that occur. Each day that goes by, and the bombing by so far Israel and the United States, and they take out more and more of the assets of Iran, the less Iran will have to fire and create the havoc that they are by hitting today Bahrain, they've hit Dubai, they've hit Qatar, they've hit Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. It doesn't matter where you're at. They're lashing out at everything and everyone. And as I've said, if they had 15 or 1,600 missiles, they'll fire every one of them before they're done. They'll shoot every drone. This is where they either live or this regime fails militarily. So this thing's too young to call an end to this. And if you think it is, you're making a mistake. 2 days will not end this warfare, or 3 days or 4 days. It's going to take a while till more and more assets are hit day and night. You've got to just keep going at it. And I do hope our allies come in. NATO won't come in, but certain countries can come in. This is not a NATO fight. This is individual countries, especially those that rely on the energy from this area. America's pretty energy self-sufficient. Remember that. In the swing lines, you have higher highs, higher lows, still bullish. The market is staying well over the 18-day average, a bullish pattern, but it's at the Bollinger Band that is restraining the rallies, and I think it will continue to. I don't think the market's just going to pick up and run from there. And are you going to embed? Well, this is where we take a look to see what's going on. So back here, and you want to look down here. Both numbers, you need them to be over 80 on my formula to embed. Day 1, 2, 3. You did it. So on the embedded reading, deep breaks in the market will get bought as long as this number stays over the 80 level. That's my prediction in the market. And when it closes under 79, then I think the rally fades back to the 18-day average of closes. In the gold-silver ratio, silver's still gaining overall on gold. As you can see, it's back to the 57 level. When we look at the silver, it had a huge reversal. The market made an outside day after hitting the Bollinger Band again, and this was a key example. If you bought overnight and you bought the rally, you got yourself into some serious trouble here. The market, as you can see, it opened 96, made a high of 97.30, and finished at 90.80. That you can get in trouble that very fast. Copper, I don't think should rally on this news, nor the platinum, and I think I'll be proven to be close to being right. We'll see if that's the case. And in the dollar, well, it's the safe haven currency, so people will buy it. And as the energy prices go up and U.S. interest rates go up, it attracts more buying. So that's the way to look at it. Now, I do want to remind everyone, you can get our information by going to iraepstein.com, and up here, give a click when you see an icon. Take some advantage of the free offers we have. You can do so by clicking in this area if you're watching us on YouTube. I'm Ira. Have yourself a good evening, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Take care now.